Hey YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got a really cool lore video for you guys on Black Ops 1, and this is a video of just me showing off all of the hidden signs that Reznov was not real in Black Ops 1. I also have another lore video coming out later in this month, which will be covering what Reznov's plan was exactly, and why Reznov actually didn't stop Mason from killing Kennedy. He did know that Mason was going to kill Kennedy, but I will cover that in a future lore video. But anyways, on this video, I want to show all the hidden signs that Reznov wasn't real. So, Reznov is not real for the majority of Black Ops 1. He's a hallucination in Mason's mind. There's only two parts in the game where he is real. He is real in Vorkuta. That is the last time that we actually see him chronologically, and he's also real in Project Nova, which is a flashback when he's describing what happened post-World War II. But in this video, we're going to be covering all those hidden signs, everything that Reznov wasn't real, because this game does a really good job of giving you a lot of signs that Reznov isn't real, but the first time that you play it, you don't even realize it, but a lot of the signs are actually there. I played through the game a second time, and was trying to find every single hint that Reznov wasn't real, and there is a lot. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, drop a like. Let's get started right here. Starting off at number 10, it's also the first hint that Reznov is not real, is right when you actually see him again in the Defector. This is the first time that you see the fake Reznov when Mason's hallucinating him. Mason is surprised when Reznov saves him from the NVA soldier, but what's important here is that when Mason's so surprised, he actually asks him, how did you escape Vorkuta? But Reznov just completely avoids the question, and instead just looks at him with just a blank expression and then starts talking about Dragovich, Kravchenko, and Steiner. It's because Mason's mind has not been able to comprehend exactly how Reznov managed to escape.
Mason.
Reznov, how'd you get out of Vorkuta? Never thought I'd see you alive.
Nor are you, my friend. I am here with a warning. Your government would do well to heed. Dragovich is planning an attack on the west.
Mason, you get what you came for?
Dragovich, I knew we'd see him again.
His influence spreads like a cancer. Even the Kremlin does not know what he is truly planning. He must be stopped, Mason. Dragovich, Kravchenko, Steiner, all must die.
At number 9, we have the real Russian defector's body. At the beginning of the mission to Defector, Hudson will start screaming at Mason, asking him why did he go in, telling him the city was overrun by the NVA and they had breached the SOG compound, but Mason will yell back at Hudson, telling him the defector wasn't dead, he was alive.
Today, communications are in chaos and commercial flights from the airport have been canceled. While some
The dead offensive was the beginning of the end, when America really started losing the war. Inside the MacV compound in Waste City, you established contact with the Russian defector.
No!
We know you did! He turned himself in MacV. You were there, Mason. He had intel on Dragovich, everything, but it was a lost cause.
Shut the fuck up!
NVA had surrounded the city. MacV had all but burned to the ground. The defector was surely dead.
He wasn't dead!
It was a lost cause, and you still went in. Why?
His protection team had gone dark. I couldn't accept that he was dead. I needed that fucking dossier!
The forces came under siege, stopping the attack and forcing the battalion to return to the
However, though, when we meet Reznov, we can actually see Reznov is actually standing right over the real defector's body. He even picks up the folder right above his body. This is the real Russian defector. This is the guy who Mason thought was Reznov, but in reality, the real Russian defector had been dead the entire time. Moving on to number 8, we have Reznov never interacts with your teammates. So throughout the whole story, Reznov will not once interact with them. He fights alongside your teammates, but he never talks to them, never converses with them, never interacts with them whatsoever. A lot of people miss this, including myself. First time I played this back in 2010, I completely missed this. But it's right there that Reznov is not interacting with your teammates, and it's done on purpose. The first time that we can see this is in the mission Defector. Right after you leave the SOG compound, Woods says, "What took you so long, Mason? That intel better be worth it," completely disregarding the fact that Reznov is with him, because Reznov isn't real. And then Reznov says, are these your men? Hi, my name is Victor. And Woods and Bowman, again, ignore him, because he's not real.
Are these your men?
Woods, Bowman.
I am Reznov. Victor.
What took you so long, Mason? That intel better be worth it. Lima Niner, where the hell's our pickup?
X-ray, be advised, Marine forces are engaged in heavy fighting west of the MACV. Push through to Rally Point Delta, 2 clicks north on the river.
Whoop.
The second time we can see this in that same mission is actually when you get on the boat at the end. Reznov says that the enemy is emboldened because of their newfound allies, and then Woods and Bowman are not even looking in his direction or paying attention to him.
So much for the tent ceasefire.
The enemy's courage could be the result of their newfound ally.
The third time that you can notice this is in the mission Victor Charlie. After you get shot down, Reznov says Sergeant Woods is very capable. You have chosen your men well, Mason. And he runs right past Woods. Woods does not interact with him at all.
Sergeant Woods is very capable. You have chosen your men well, Mason. I will move to high ground to look for Krashenko's compound.
Understood. Stay close, Victor.
Lima Niner, X-ray. This is Whiskey. You out there?
Yeah, Whiskey, go.
Woods. Thought we lost you in that chopper. What's the new plan?
You can also see this for the fourth time in the mission Crash Site. Reznov gets on the boat and walks right past Woods and Bowman, and they don't interact at all.
All right, let's go.
SOG, right? Right?
You couldn't make it. Man the gun, don't get killed.
Sir.
All right. M202's...
Next at number 7 is Reznov is outside of the helicopter in Victor Charlie. Now, why is this important? Because at the start of this mission, Mason actually says to Hudson, and even Reznov survived that helicopter crash.
Go back to Vietnam, Mason. Was Victor Reznov still with you after you escaped from the MACV compound?
Reznov was with me the whole time.
Are you sure?
North. We went north. Viet Cong. We were shut down, and Reznov even survived that. Dragovich's lapdog Kravchenko was there. He knew we were coming.
Woods and Mason get shot down by the Viet Cong, and they're trying to fight their way out. The helicopter starts getting flooded. Mason desperately pushes the door to try to get it open, but then Reznov opens it for him. So how is this proof that Reznov isn't real? How does he appear outside of the helicopter exactly? Think about that. The helicopter door was closed, meaning that the door was closed when the helicopter was crashing. So, did Reznov, like, jump out of the helicopter in midair and then they closed the door? No. He was outside the helicopter because he was a hallucination. He wasn't there. And if you look underwater, there's not a second helicopter, which means that Mason hallucinated Reznov on that same helicopter with him. So how is he outside when the door was actually closed? At number 6, we have Reznov teleports to the top of the ladder on Rebirth Island. So in the mission Rebirth Island, as you're making your way up to the first ladder and the Spetsnaz soldier sees you, when Mason grabs his shotgun and throws him off of the ladder, Reznov actually looks at the soldier as he's falling into the water. And then when you actually climb up the ladder, Reznov teleports instantly to the top of the ladder. It should be the other way around, where Mason should be waiting for Reznov to come up.
Я там буду через минуту. Все ходим, все равно. Ходи минуту. Мне надо что-то проверить.
Good. Very good. We are getting close, Mason. We should be able to access Steiner's lab from the roof.
Next at number 5, we have Reznov appears suddenly when the numbers start playing. So there are several times throughout the story when you hear the numbers broadcast and Reznov appears out of nowhere. The first time that this happens is actually in the Mission Defector when you see the fake Reznov again. You hear the numbers playing before you breach the safe house door, and then Reznov is on the other side.
He should be in one of these rooms.
Mason, take the door at the far end of the hallway. Bowman, on me.
Mason.
Reznov. How'd you get out of Vorkuta?
The second time this happens is in that exact same mission. At the very end of the mission, you actually hear numbers playing on the boat as you're escaping, and then Reznov suddenly pops up on your screen.
So much for the tent ceasefire.
The enemy's courage could be the result of their newfound ally.
22, 21, 4, 0, 14.
The third time this happens is in the mission Victor Charlie. When your helicopter gets shot down, you hear the numbers playing and Reznov saves you.
21, 10, 16, 23, 4, 22, 21, 4, 0, 14.
Fourth time this happens is in that exact same mission. When you're actually going down the rat tunnels, you hear the numbers playing and then Reznov jumps down in the tunnels.
Can't sweep 3K radius.
Dude, take this. Stay on it. We'll find your Kravchenko. We'll make it out of there alive. Bowman, point. Let's move.
This son of a bitch ain't fighting no more. Keep that light steady, Mason.
Reznov, you nearly took a bullet.
No one fights alone, Mason.
Fifth time this happens is in the mission Crash Site. In that one, you hear the numbers playing and then you see Reznov at the dock.
We gotta get to the Nova 6 before the Soviets clean it up.
Right, let's move.
That's all right, let's go.
SOG, right? Right?
They couldn't make it. Man the gun, don't get killed.
The last time that you see this really happen is in the mission Payback. It's right when you land the helicopter, you actually hear the numbers playing, and then shortly after that, Reznov busts out of his cell.
24, 5, 13, 11, 20, 15.
Mason!
Thank God.
Is that you?
Please, Reznov, hurry.
19,
Get you out.
24,
Kravchenko is here.
24, 5, 13, 11,
This way.
20,
We cannot let him slip through our grasp.
10.
I thought you were dead.
When we were captured at the river, they brought me here.
Next at number 4, we have Bowman notices Mason talking to himself. So a lot of people wonder why there aren't instances of the characters seeing that Mason's talking to himself when he's talking to Reznov. There actually are a few instances of this happening. They're very sudden, but they actually do happen. And Bowman is probably one of the most famous examples of this. Bowman actually catches on pretty early before Swift that Mason was talking to himself. But you can see this in the mission Crash Site. Reznov starts whispering to Mason, "I can feel it. Kravchenko is near." And then Bowman says, "Say again?"
Bowman, what happened?
There's nothing here.
Right.
The plane must be close, Mason. Kravchenko is near.
Watch this, what Bowman says in this part.
I see you, Wolf 10. Welcome to paradise.
I feel it. Kravchenko is near.
Say again.
Kravchenko, he must be near.
I fucking hope so.
They found it just ahead, patching you through.
Later in that mission, Reznov actually says in the background, he says, "Kravchenko must die." And then Bowman acknowledges Mason and says, "I hear you, Mason."
Chemical weapon.
Watch Reznov in this part, because it's really creepy.
Nova 6. Must have dispersed after the crash.
Grenade launchers, China Lakes. The hell the Russians do with American weapons?
Must be some kind of setup.
Nova 6 is all gone. See here? Map of the area. It's gotta be Kravchenko's compound, deep inside Laos.
Kravchenko. He must die.
Okay, Mason. Let's go.
Now, why did Bowman acknowledge Mason like that? The reason that he acknowledged Mason like that is because when Reznov is actually talking, Mason is actually saying what Reznov is saying. We know this from the mission Rebirth Island. In that mission, Reznov actually says to Steiner, "My name is Victor Reznov, and I will have my revenge."
Me will not stop, Nova. I do not care about Nova. My name is Victor Reznov. And I will have my revenge!
Then when we see Hudson's perspective, Mason is saying everything that Reznov says. Mason says, "My name is Victor Reznov, and I will have my revenge."
No! Stand up!
My name is Victor Reznov, and I will have my
Revenge! Mason, no!
So throughout the story, a lot of times, when Reznov is saying something, Mason is actually saying it himself. He just doesn't realize it. That's why Bowman acknowledges him when Mason says Kravchenko must die. Bowman acknowledges that because he wants to kill Kravchenko as well. He doesn't realize that Mason is talking to himself.
Kravchenko. He must die.
Okay, Mason. Let's go.
At number 3, we have Reznov does not help you fight Kravchenko. So in the mission Payback, when you steal the helicopter and then you fight your way up to Kravchenko's compound, you release the POWs and then you release fake Reznov. And once you do that, you fight up to Kravchenko's command center. And when you're up there, Woods and you actually breach the room, and even though Reznov is right behind you, he does not show up. Now, when I was a kid, I was around 16 when this game first came out, and I played it. At this point, I actually realized there was something off about Reznov. I remember my exact reaction, too. I did not think that Reznov was fake, I didn't think that, but I knew there was something wrong. Something was not right here. And the reason I felt that way is because when you actually breach the room, and Woods is actually fighting Kravchenko, I was expecting Reznov any moment to actually come in and tackle Kravchenko. That's literally what I thought was going to happen any moment. But it never happens. And then afterwards, what happens is Woods just falls out the window of Kravchenko, who detonates his grenade belt, and then you see this little creepy, like, cutscene where, like, it's like a shadow of Woods, but then it appears of Reznov just staring at you.
Not this time, American. You again.
I should have killed you in Vorkuta.
Got you now, you son of a bitch. You die with me.
What?
I got you, Mason.
What?
You're okay.
Are you okay? Mason.
Reznov.
Kravchenko is dead. Dragovich, Kravchenko, Stein. All must die.
For God's sake, where is the number station?
All must die.
Next at number 2, we have Swift notices Mason talking to himself. Now, this is one of the biggest early signs in the game that we see that something is wrong with Reznov. And I know a lot of us were confused about this. When I was a kid, I was pretty confused about this. What is he talking about exactly? None of us thought that Reznov could potentially be fake, that Reznov maybe wasn't real. But Mason didn't even have the chance to converse with Swift, because shortly afterwards, Swift actually dies by a Viet Cong soldier.
Fight no more. Keep that light steady, Mason.
Reznov, you nearly took a bullet. No one fights alone, Mason. I will work my way around.
All right, but move quietly. What the fuck's wrong with you? Mason, you gotta keep your shit together.
Bitch, come in.
Go ahead, Mason.
Swift's dead. We got VC crawling all over.
Human Iron is keeping the area. No
What? You monitor. Shit.
Hudson also talks about this in the mission Revelations.
He was never in the rat tunnels.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Before I reveal the #1 hidden early sign that Reznov was not real, I wanted to make a few special mentions, and there's a lot of special mentions. In this video, I wanted to record every single instance pointing to Reznov possibly not being real. But anyways, here we go. Special mention #1. In the mission to Defector, the first time that we actually see fake Reznov, there's a part when you're actually going up on some balconies and you enter a room on the 2nd floor, the floor collapses. But when that floor actually collapses, Reznov appears instantly on the bottom of the floor. It's not that he falls down with Mason. He instantly appears on the bottom of the floor. Take a look at this.
He's dead!
Also, take a look at this in slow motion right here. You can see Reznov on the left side instantly appearing. I don't think that was a developer oversight. I think that was on purpose. Special mention #2 is Reznov stops following you in the tunnels and then teleports ahead when you actually open up the door. So in the mission Victor Charlie, when Reznov appears, you will be going through these tunnels and he will actually stop following you halfway through the water area. And if you turn around, you'll see he's nowhere near you. You have to go all the way back once you get to the door, but when he whispers, you hear him like he's right behind you. And then when you actually go up to the door and you open up the door to Kravchenko's command center, Reznov actually teleports right in front of you. So he was all the way in the back before, stops following you, but then the second that you open up the door, he actually teleports right in front of you, and he's there. Take a look at this.
Kravchenko's forward compound.
It looks abandoned.
Kravchenko anticipated our arrival.
And left in a hurry.
Look around.
February 4th.
Special mention #3 is in the mission crash site. When you actually get to the Soviet cargo plane, you find a China Lake and you start shooting at a bunch of Viet Cong soldiers. And you are there with Woods, Bowman, and also fake Reznov. Now, at one point, the Soviet Heinz return. And when the Heinz return, they actually shoot missiles at the cargo plane, and the cargo plane falls down the hill. Now, when the cargo plane falls down the hill, you see Woods unconscious on the right side, and you see Bowman being taken away. But Reznov does not fall with you. Reznov is nowhere to be found, and you don't see him being taken away.
Fuck, the Hinds are back! Movement! Look out!
Brace yourself, Mason!
Держи в поле зрения!
9, 19, 18, 4, 6, 21, 17, 14, 9, 19, 8, 24, 17, 24, 5, 13, 11, 20, 15, 21, 10, 16,
Dragovich, Kravchenko.
It's been too long, Mason. We must make up for lost time.
Special mention number 4 is Woods notices Mason talking to himself in the mission Payback. So in the mission Payback, right when you're about to fight your way up to Kravchenko's compound, you find a bunch of POWs and they start begging for help, but Mason almost ignores them and rushes past them to release Reznov. He starts talking with Reznov, and then Woods notices, and Woods says to Mason, "Mason, what the F are you doing? We gotta get these guys out of here."
Hey! Hey! Help us, please!
Mason, the POWs!
You're here for us?
Mason! What? Thank God. Is that you? Please, Reznov, hurry. Get you out.
Kravchenko is here.
24, 5, 13, 11,
This way!
20,
We cannot let him slip through our grasp.
I thought you were dead.
When we were captured at the river, they brought me here.
21.
Mason, what the fuck
was
are you
to be
doing?
returned to
You gotta
Russia.
get these guys out. For Drago, to the side, my friend.
We're in charge of our own destiny now, Reznov. Kravchenko must die.
Special mention number 5 is the soldiers that Reznov kills do not bleed one shot. So let me explain what I mean by this. There are 3 cinematic kills that fake Reznov has throughout the storyline. The first one is in the mission The Defector. In this one, we see an NVA soldier tackle Mason, and then Reznov kills him right afterwards. And while there is a little bit of blood that you see from that soldier when Reznov stabs him, when you actually go up to that body and you shoot that body, no blood comes out of that body. Not only does no blood come out of that body, additionally, there's not even any bullet holes. No damage appears in the body whatsoever. It's like the body isn't there. But if you actually go in that same room, there's a dead NVA soldier. Shoot that body, blood comes out, and you see bullet holes in that body. You're clearly damaging it. Now, there's a second soldier that Reznov kills. In the mission Victor Charlie, he kills a Viet Cong soldier and pushes his body out of this tunnel. And it's the exact same thing. If you shoot this body that Reznov kills, there is nothing. No damage, no blood. You do not see any bullet holes whatsoever on the body. It's like the body is not there. It's going through the body, it's hitting the ground, but nothing. However, though, if we actually shoot one of the bodies that Mason killed earlier, those bodies are bleeding. And not only that, we see bullet holes coming out of them. But now, what about this part right here? I know some people are going to ask me, what about this kill? When Reznov kills this guy, there's blood, right?
I hear the enemy.
So why does this third enemy bleed, but the first 2 don't? And not only that, there's also bullet holes and damage to his body, so when we shoot the body bleeds more. So why is this one different? It's because that first guy that Reznov killed, that NVA soldier, and that second guy, that VC soldier, were not real. They were figments of Mason's imagination. However, this guy, this VC soldier that was bleeding here, that Mason saw Reznov kill, that guy was real. It was a real guy. But who killed him? Mason killed him. It's the exact same thing as on Rebirth Island. You have to remember that Mason saw Reznov kill Steiner, but in reality, he killed Steiner. That Viet Cong soldier that he saw Reznov kill, that was Mason killing him, but he believed that it was Reznov. Special mention number 6 is Reznov instantly appears with the same gun after Mason gets one on Rebirth Island. So at the beginning of the mission on Rebirth Island, after Mason acquires the axe, he comes up behind a Spetsnaz soldier and he kills him with it, and he gets his AK-74U. But the second that Mason picks up that AK-74U, Reznov instantly has the exact same gun. How is that possible when Reznov was unarmed beforehand?
Мы уверены, это Америка.
Good, my friend. Follow me. The chopper is coming around again. We must find another hiding place. Wait! Stay where you are.
Special mention number 7 is Reznov does not appear on the security cameras on Rebirth Island. On Rebirth Island, when you switch to Hudson and you're moving your way up to get to Steiner, you actually enter a security room where you find a bunch of cameras. However, you see Mason's rampage on that and Mason killing everybody, but you do not see Reznov at all. Reznov makes no appearances on the cameras.
It's Mason. What the hell is he doing? Killing everyone between him and Steiner.
And the final special mention before we get to number 1 is the camera and angle of Reznov when he kills Steiner. So In Rebirth Island, when Mason actually kills Steiner, Steiner says, you don't know what we did to you. And Reznov actually appears, and the camera actually switches to his angle directly. So it's not like you're seeing Reznov doing it, it's more like you're seeing above him from like the surroundings of him doing it, from a more of a cinematic point, not necessarily Mason's perspective. And on top of that, you also do not see Mason's shadow. You see Reznov's shadow, but you don't see Mason's shadow at all.
This is the end. I know you. Vorkuta. You don't know what we did to you.
Mason, talk to me.
Your evil has claimed the lives of many good men. No longer.
Killing me will not stop Nova.
I do not care about Nova. My name is Victor Reznov. And I will have my revenge!
And number one, the number one hidden sign that Reznov is not real is this.
You nearly took a bullet.
No one fights alone. I will work my way around.
That's right, Reznov can be shot as much as possible. He can be shot more than any other character in the game, and you will never get a friendly fire will not be tolerated message. I mean, just take a look at this. In this part, I shoot Reznov a bunch of times, and here's the thing. When you actually shoot Reznov, Mason does not hesitate. When you're actually shooting other characters, Mason hesitates, and it's actually very hard for you to pull the trigger. The only way to really get friendly fire on them is you have to hip fire. You can't aim down the sights directly, or Mason won't pull the trigger, or hit them with an explosive, and you'll get friendly fire will not be tolerated. In this case, I can just freely shoot Reznov, but then when I actually do it to Bowman, Mason hesitates, will not pull the trigger, and I have to hip fire, and then eventually I get friendly fire will not be tolerated. But I will never get a friendly fire will not be tolerated for Reznov. I can just keep shooting him infinitely, and he will never respond whatsoever to it. Just take a look at this instance also right here. In this one, I'm shooting him a bunch of times, no response. But then I start shooting at Woods, friendly fire will not be tolerated. But if we actually go back to the Vorkuta mission where Reznov was actually real, if we go back there and we shoot him, this is the only mission where you can shoot Reznov and it will say friendly fire will not be tolerated because Reznov was real. The reason that Mason can shoot him so much without any kind of penalty is because he was never there. He did not exist. He was fake. That's why. It's a really creepy detail when you really think about it. A lot of people don't think about this. They don't really notice this because you don't really tend to shoot your allies. But it's just something that Treyarch put in there. And that's a really sneaky thing that they put in there, thinking about that. You shoot him a bunch of times, and he never, you never get that pop-up that says friendly fire will not be tolerated. You never get a fail for that, because you can't fail for shooting a hallucination when you really think about it. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, do drop a like. This is my favorite Call of Duty storyline. I love this game, and I had so much fun making this video. I tried to find every single hidden sign that Reznov was not real. If I missed any extra hidden signs, please let me know down in the comments. I'm curious on that, but I replayed the game and I tried to find every single one that I could find about him. Thank you guys for watching. I will also have a future lore video on Reznov in the future talking about how I think he did survive. We're not going to be talking about the hallucination, but how I think he actually did escape Vorkuta and why he didn't stop Mason from killing Kennedy. But as for the Reznov that we see after Vorkuta, he is not real and only a part of Mason's imagination. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do drop a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.